So good morning from Dumfries Curling Club here in Scotland, where we are the final session of the English Men's Curling Championship, the final round robin session, and also the fifth game in the best of five series between Hetty Garney and Lisa Farnell to decide the English Women's Championship. Exciting conclusion last night to the ladies' game, which went to an extra end and was won by Lisa Farnell, which brought the score to 2 games each. And they are now currently on their second end. The first end having been blanked, which follows the pattern from yesterday, where the first 3 ends of the game were blanked before it develops a thrilling tussle, with the initial advantage being with Garnier before Farnell fought it back and eventually conquered in one and the extra end. The men's game, which you're watching on screen now, is between Andrew Wilston playing the yellow stones and Andrew Reid playing the blue stones. This is the last game of the round robin. It's also deciding whether or not we'll have a final. At the moment, Andrew Wilston is undefeated. Andrew Reid has 1 loss. No other team is within 2 losses of Andrew Wilston. So it's Wilston no losses, Reid on 1 loss. If Andrew Wilston wins this game, then he will become the champion, having finished undefeated in the round robin and 2 wins ahead of Andrew Reid and others. If Andrew Reid wins, then both teams will have lost 1 game in the round robin, and we'll have to come back at 2 o'clock this afternoon for another encounter in the final. So both these games, as I said, critically important. We'll try and watch both of them. And at the moment, we have a centre guard up for Andrew Wilston, who's now drawing round. Slightly open, just next off the front one. Looking at the scoreboard, in the first end in that game was also blanked. So hopefully we'll bring some more excitement later on as the games progress. We'll quick look across to the ladies' head, where we see that there's 1 red stone in the house, and the red stones here belong to the Fowler, the Garnier team. The blue stones are Farnell, and it looks like we're heading for another fairly open end here. The shot coming down is a takeout by Victoria Kyle, which hits and sticks. So I imagine that one's good to go. So a fairly defensive start in that sheet from both teams. Let's go across and focus on the men now for the next few stones. So Andrew Wilston, as I said, is yellow, and he's lying pretty well at this end. He's got 3 stones in there. Reid has the last stone, in fact, so it's not as bad as it looked, perhaps, but obviously the Wilson team will get the stones into play. Now try to tap up the front one. Tap the front one back to get a guard on it. Very behind the other one. It's a bit overswept, is it? Or just going to line up beside that one. That's not so great. That's just going to be. Andrew Reid will try a double on there. Double and then roll behind that short guard. And if he gets it out, he might even get the back one as well, because the 2 yellows at front there might be lined up so the back one goes as well. So it's another lovely sunny day here in Dumfries. Ice conditions are good. The white streaks you see across the screen are actually the light coming in past the curtains and the side windows. It didn't seem to affect the games. It didn't seem to affect the ice. Ice conditions are good. And not quite such a good shot there. That was not quite what Andrew expected the final outcome to be there. I think he wanted to get both those for yellows and needed blue, but the stone's a bit tight from Michael Opal, and the blue rolled out. So Wilson's getting the better of the game at the moment. He's getting shots in and around the house. Reid is hitting and rolling out. A good crowd here this morning for early hours on Sunday morning, watching these 2 games. And if you're listening to this from over the Atlantic in Canada. A very good early morning to you, and hopefully we'll make some good news for you by the end of the day. Andrew trying to take a short guard off. We've still got fairly limited action on the ladies' game. There is a corner guard, which I think they're trying to get round, even hitting and rolling behind. This is a hit and roll from Farnell, but it's on the nose again. So we're getting close to the front of the circles in the ladies' game. But still just went doing play and fairly straight shooting. Here in the men's game, Andrew Reid trying to take that front guard off, and in fact not getting it. I guess a back shot in the house. But he's got, as I said, the guard up now, which Woolston can use to draw around. So, yeah, things not quite going Andrew Reid's way at the moment. As before, the full end scores will be available on curlingzone.com as we go through these games. The other men's game on the ice at the moment today is Andy Taylor against Greg Dunn. Only one more game on the ice, the game between Stephen Hines and Stuart Brand. The teams elected not to play that game since neither of them has a chance of winning the competition, so those two teams are not playing today. So we've got two men's games and one ladies' game on the ice today. Again, looking at the ladies' head, there's still just the one stone in play, so lower interest here. Wilson trying to get around through there. I get a little wick off that, rolls behind the guard. So a slightly shorter weight, perhaps that one, if you're going for a tap up or the draw. Reid also wants to try to keep the front clear, as well as get rid of the yellow stones. And over in the ladies' game, we've had a hit by Lisa Farnell, and in fact is rolling across to the other side of the house, not quite behind the corner guard. So more it's Farnell line one, with Garnier to throw her last stone, and if things are going to plan, we can see this could be another blank end. Because the blank end is not always initiated by the team throwing second, and this kind of level, if you the team throwing first decides to put a stone in the 4 foot, or even somewhere in the house, it's quite often the case that the team throwing second will have to hit it to try and that's the even early stage in the game. Is this one going to Andrew Reid? It's actually running wide there. Oh, dear, that's a bad one. Ran wide. A bit heavy perhaps. Ran wide and he's lying 3 against. So Woolston now has a chance to put that one in there before Andrew Reid's last stone, and put a bit of pressure on Andrew Reid. Yes, in the ladies' game, just a quick show of the head there. We have got the one stone there from Hetty Garner. This is Lisa Farnell's last stone at the second end. She aimed to hit and roll away to blank the end. That's a bit wide, but I think it's going to hit and roll out. Just gets hit and roll out, another blank end. So, I'll be 0-0 still in the ladies' game. At which point we'll move back to the men's game here, and Wilson trying to draw a 4-stroke into the house. to give Reid a bit of a tricky problem to get rid of, or to get a draw in there. So if he could put one at the front even, just over the D of Hardy, on that line, then Reid will have to try and draw round the, I would imagine on the left of your screen, draw around to try and bite the 4 foot with the out turn. So Wilson coming down here, I'm not sure how far he's thinking of taking it, whether he wants to take it all the way or just leave it short. It looks like he's being left short. He's not quite got legs to get there, he needs to, he gives it over curl though. That looks a good shot there. So he's right round there. Rosen, yeah, right round behind that one there. So yes, Andrew's really just got a draw to that left hand side, the 4 foot, unless he wants to try and come to the shot Andrew Wilson's just played. But you need a bit of way to move it. So he's got to, and there's not, once you put weight on it, it does run a bit straighter down there. You're perhaps going to try that. Because the face of the one that Andrew Wilson just played can push it back, one can draw to that 4 foot space there. If he does come and gets caught up in that shot Wilson's just played, at least he'll only be losing one at this end. So rather than going for the tricky shot in the out turn where the ice hasn't really been played on, he's going to have to try and come through that gap there, and if not get the shot, at least cut Wilson down to 1 or 2 shots. So a critical shot this in the second end of the game. Having blanked the first end, looking for opportunity to score more than one, he's now faced opportunity of being forced to take one if he can. Coming through, how's he doing? Is it a bit heavy? No, he's going to get the one, he's going to roll off it, I think. He's going to roll off it. Wilson sweeping hard, it's going to be a, well, maybe just the one actually. That's a good save there from Andrew Reid. He couldn't do, he was a little bit, you couldn't do much better than that. But he's cut Wilson down to a steal of 1. Keeps the game very much alive here. As I said, if these two teams, if Reid wins this game, they'll be back on the ice again at 2 o'clock for a final. So on the ladies' sheet, play the third end, and the film on their side here at the third end. Winstone House about to be hit out by Farnell team. That looks as it's going to hit and roll out, is it? It's going to hit, just catches the edge and roll out. So, no, there's no intention of doing any attacking from Hetty. Still going for the shot to 4 foot. Still not willing to put the guard up. So I think we could be in for another, heading towards what's looking like there's one miss really for these two teams. Either of these two teams would be, one miss would be what's needed to open up the game. But they do seem to be hitting very well on that ice. Sheet F, which is 1-1. According to the men who've played in all 4 of the sheets we're using here, Sheet F appears to be the best sheet on the ice pad at the moment. And so it may be that will be the easiest one to hit on, and we haven't seen any hit misses yet really. So a high quality hitting game going on in Sheet F, if not very exciting for the spectators. That one, latest one in the Garney team has gone to back of the 8 foot, which this is actually shooting early in that, so it depends how much of a curl it looks like. It should be okay. It's going to roll out, I think. No, it's yeah, just sticks in, moves position if it's still in the house. So Reid tries to draw around behind that guard, and Tom Jagey, unusually for Tom, is a bit heavy. Tom is very reliable. He's been playing lead for Alan McDougall for many years in the European Championships. and but he's failed to get that around behind the guard, and so Woolstein could now try and draw around the guard himself. So after 3 blank ends in a row, we had a guard up, for a deliberate guard or just sort of short from the Garnier team. So we get a bit more action this end here from the ladies. Lisa Farnell still has last stone, of course, having blanked those 3 ends. Trying to draw behind this short guard, but that one I think is a bit heavy. He's going to go right to the back of his circles and possibly just out. Yep, just go out. There is a stone back there, which presumably was a similar attempt. So Garnier went to try and come and take out this one blue at the back, get roll behind. Which is a hack weight they're playing. Of course, you can't see all the stone. This is, I think, with Lorna Rettig playing this one. Sweeping hard, is it cutting onto the front guard? And it looks pretty good. It's going to hit and get a roll. Get a little roll across. That's a good shot. In the guard. It's right at the back of the circles though. It's not that great danger at the moment. And it's interesting, Lisa elected not to take off that guard. Elected to draw around here. I was thinking that if she could use that guard, she can maybe generate a 2 of her own, which is what she's looking for. Decided that she would react to short guard by, okay, let's have an aggressive end. Let's try and get something aboard us and get her 2. Still plenty of room for her to get in there to get draw for 1 if necessary. We have to be careful now because that's stuck out wide a bit, and that. If Hetty gets this and his rolls behind like she's indicating, then that makes it start to become a bit awkward for Lisa. She has to start then take the guard off. So we'll watch this shot from Hetty's team for the moment. We'll take a quick trip back across the men's game. So Hetty here looking to hit this one and roll behind the guard, which is reduce Lisa's draw space if she likes to keep the guard up. A lot of shouting here. Is that going to be hitting and rolling out, I think? Yes, that's it was a bit tighter than wanted, and hit and rolled all the way out. And I imagine Lisa might play the same shot again. Yes, she's trying the same shot again. Drawing behind the guard. Quickly, a bit of time to the men's game. A lot of stones in play. Andrew trying to drive that one away. Oh! And there's a bit of a fall there. Jamie took a spill. Managed to miss all the stones. Yes, and 2 blues. So a good shot there by Andrew Reid. And Jamie managed to avoid everything. Round the back of the house. So yes, that was very tight. Stone there for Andrew, just past the guards, take those yellow stones out and leave himself line 2. Thankfully we're all okay. So a bit of excitement there. And I'm glad we went back to just watch that particular stone. So we've got that on record on our stream. Now go back to the men decide to change ends, go back to the ladies' game where obviously Sarah's draw around the guard was a bit short. And maybe it was Victoria's. But the draw behind the guard was a bit short there in Lisa's team. So she's now got 2 guards up, which is not the best situation for her to be in with the last stone. So we'll have to use Star to take the guard off now. This is coming across. That's another. Is that going to get round the back? I thought so. If it is, that's short again. It might just squeak. No, it's just right to the front there. I didn't get there, so that's a bit short again. So I think Lisa's got to move these two red stones. Really got to open this up. Guard into the centre, she's got last stones, she doesn't want them there. If she can hit this right, she can get both reds will shoot get action, both reds should go out. What she doesn't want to do is stay there though, so she'll have to hit the right hand red on the right hand side, about right 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock position, to make sure she rolls away with the shooter, but that she's shooting low, is she? Is that a bit high and wide at the moment? Oh, that's high and wide. She might just get them there, might bounce in, and that. Dear, that's not the best of shots because the lefty guard's still there. That's now he's a tap off for Hetty. So Lisa's team not helping her here. That was a bit wide, that shot, and it just moved the guards about. And there's a good tap up there from the Garnier team to move that guard up into the house, and again Sergey's off the front guard this time, so I show the Petty really taking advantage here of the slightly slack play by the Farnell team to put some pressure on Lisa with her last draw coming up. So really the force of one for Lisa would maybe be forced to take one at the end of this end, which is really what happened yesterday as well. 3 blank ends, then she was forced to take a one. So a similar pattern to yesterday's game, and if we have that all the way through, it'll be quite an exciting finish. But that's not such a good result now for Hetty. Didn't quite get the weight in that to push it up, and just left a handy double on there. If Lisa can get these 2 stones away then and lie at the top of the circles, then it'll force Hetty to then hit that, and it may well be that we see Lisa manage to get out of this after all with more than one. The one at the back is maybe a critical counter now, although I said earlier on it was not really part of the game as at that point. It is now possibly going to be coming into play as being the counting shot. So the curling can change quite quickly from stone to stone. Perhaps it's part of the fascination that people have watching it in the Olympics. the last 2 weeks, which is a big upsurge in interest in our website. That is a good shot from Lisa. She gets the hit and she squeezes through to live shot. So we've got Hetty to hit and roll behind that guard there. So still a guard for Hetty to use. If she gets this and rolls, then it will make it very awkward for Lisa. She'll have to then really take her one. She rolls out and Lisa maybe try and take this back stone out. She'll probably get around to it at a barrier weight just to take it out and blank again. Hetty going for the hit and roll behind the blue guard. Rolling anywhere to the left is good for Hetty. Hannah's very quiet at the moment, but she seems to be still behind the stone, so still obviously doing okay. The stone's running, that looks a good stone from here. Don't think she'll get a roll on it though, it's going to nose hit. Does a nose hit, so nose hit for Lisa now to take her one. So, a bit more excitement in this, the fourth end of the game. Lisa knows it here for one. Start the scoring in this ladies' final game. So a solid hit to the nose there by Lisa Farnell, picks up the one, opens the scoring this ladies' final game. Not what she wanted with the hammer, having blanked 3 ends, but it gets on the scoreboard. And we know from yesterday how good she is at stealing ends. So fifth end of the game coming up. Over in the men's game after the last stone-filled end, slightly fewer stones to play this time, but Andrew Reid trying to get a roll off that winger there behind the guards. Wilson, his last stone, looking to hit and roll behind himself now. Good attempt there by Wilson to get behind that centre guard. Ben Fowler through the shot, just rolled a little bit too far. So now from the other side of the house, Reid has a similar shot. In the ladies' end, the first stone from Lisa's a centre guard. So a bit more excitement now coming up in this end for the ladies, I'm sure. Okay, both ends at the moment, both games, very similar situation. Guard at the front, still in the house. Wilson trying to draw for 2 by drawing behind the centre guard. On the other end, Garney hitting out and rolling out of the circle. So advantage for Nell. She's now got a centre guard and she could try roll behind. So in this ice here, Wilson is drawn behind. The centre guard lies 2, pretty square, not a double on there. And Reed will be looking to come in there to facing that one to try and force Andy Wilson to take a 1. It will take a while to talk about that one, so we'll never across the ladies' game while they're still discussing it. Fairly straightforward shots discussed. There's easy to put one in there. Look at the ladies' game here. We see the centre guard up front. There's the blue colours of Farnell. Now she's trying to draw out behind it. It's going to be a bit tight. Oh, it's right past there. Brilliant sweeping by the girls. A great shot again by Victoria Kyle, who certainly in last night's game did some crucial shots to set up the steals for Lisa in the middle of the game. So a great shot there from Victoria, right behind the guard, right around the button. And Hetty going to take the guard off now. Hetty has last stone, of course, at this end, having forced Lisa to take a 1 at the previous end. It's for the guard. As the guard goes with it looks almost. No, it's a good guard. Take the guard off, left the corner up. There's a good shot there by Lorna Rettig. So now Lisa's going to start putting the guards up. In the men's game, we're quickly across the area, see what's happening. And we try to shot into the button here. Guys are working hard on it. They're going to get in there. He's got it there, it's a lying shot. That's a good attempt by Andrew Reid. So Andrew Wilson there trying to look at hitting it out. Probably more or less all visible. So we're going to try and hit the high side and take it across the top of the back yellow. Roseby, he'll get to 2. To go back into lead the game at 3-2. And Lisa's put a good guard up in the other game. Hetty now taking it off. We'll just have a quick look at this shot of Woolston's, because obviously very critical to the state of the game. And then we'll go back and watch the remainder of the ladies' end, which is just in the early stages. So Woolston throwing this one down here, hoping to get slice the blue out and not jam on the back. He's got past the guard okay, he's got to go back out, and he's just left one lying there in fact. So 1 blue, stone means 1 for Reid. That's that end finished there. We can now concentrate on the ladies' game for the rest of this end. So there's a short guard up from Lisa Farnell. Stephen Gardiner still in the centre. Hetty Gardiner trying to hit the guard away. Look at it, might just miss. Oh, just caught the guard. Rolling it across, and yeah, no issues there. So same again for Lisa Farnell. Guard up front, guard the shot. Another one up from Farnell, and another hit off by Anna Fowler, and similar to the last one, and here we go again. Another guard from Lisa. Asking Sarah to throw another guard. Neve and Victoria working really hard there to bring that stone into line. You can perhaps see half of the third of the stone in the house, so that temptation to go for the stone in the house, which will be a mistake at this stage. Because she misses that, they would basically be saying to Lisa, here, have your other one, but she could take the front guard off really again. Still there's a chance of getting the run back double, but then that would leave a guard at the front, which Lisa could then draw around. I think just taking the guard off. Very careful. She couldn't give it not to be wide because she could then jam it on the breaststone on the far left. That's something to be careful of, and that is actually looking quite wide. It's good to miss to get through the gap between the two. So Anna Fowler clears the guard. Lisa Farnell puts another one up. Another good guard there from Lisa. That's been some impressive guarding here from the Farnell team. That's some 5 in a row, I think. And counting 5 guards they've managed to put on that centre line. But now Hetty's decided that guard is slightly to side and decided that she's going to try and get something out of this, and she's going to start moving the short stone. So now she's trying to move the short stone. Hopefully she'll get it out. It's quite a tight line. She's going to slice it out. She'll still leave a guard for Lisa to draw around. And if she doesn't slice it enough, she'll just stick around. Still alright, she gets a hit here, might get some roll behind the corner guard or something there. If she can get enough movement on the blue stone to push it out of the circles. And that could be the issue. Anna's still looking down there. Maybe she's just playing at this gentle tap. Because otherwise, where Anna's looking is fairly high. It's fairly high. It's quite gentle. It's coming down now. Is it coming enough? It should be coming enough now to catch the edge, but it just could catch the edge and push it across. Still leave it in play. So you have the danger. Didn't quite get the roll behind the guard. So now Lisa can hit that one and roll behind there herself. Here she plays it on the nose or rolls to the side. the opportunity for Lisa now to put some pressure on Hetty. Hitting this one to lie 2. We haven't seen many misses from the Farnell team this game so far, so in theory, if she just forgets the guards at the front and just hits it as she's been hitting the rest of the game, then this should be fairly straightforward. No hit. Fairly straightforward, no set. Usually a turn. So anticipating the one it won't fall back onto that guard, so play the brush and right down the tram line. I on the node, if you could slight roll to side, that would be good. So I think advantage at the moment for Farnell, because if she gets this, she's forcing Garney to take a 1, which makes it go back to 1-1, and also giving herself a chance of stealing again. So some good guarding there by the Farnell team, then forced Garney to try that little gentle hit, which was just really too slow to be damaging to the shot in the house. But it would be difficult to play more weight to actually get the edge. She only really got the edge playing at that slow weight. So started shouting loud, that doesn't sound maybe a bit tight here, but coming down, it's bending quite a lot. It looks okay, no, it's a good shot. Good shot from Lisa. Set up, fairly straightforward hit for Hit here. She just has to hit that one, no chance to go for the double, just hit it on the nose. We'll give her the 1. We'll give this game back to 1-all. Well played end here by the Farnell team. Finally forcing Garney to the 1. Assuming of course that she gets this shot. That's the 5th end. We're 4 in a break after this end. For the teams to talk to their coach if required, have a quick break, quick snack, and back in the race for another 5 ends. No calling, calling now, Anna calling now. Panicking about now, so this could be tight, this could hit. I think she's okay, plenty of room there, because she can run and roll across. That's good from Hetty, that makes the game 1-all after 5 ends, and time for a short break. So we're back to men's game. 2 centre guards up. Michael will just hit and roll behind there. 2 centre guards. 2 loose stones in the house. Woolston trying to rhythm. Ben Feller hit through here. Just saying which hand to hit it on. Some debate over this one. And about to go up and have a chat to Ben Fowler and look at the situation on the far end. Pretty concerned the fact that he might draw too much. I'm wondering whether she'd take off the guards instead. Scott Gibson coming down to look at the situation. Look at the angles. It looks fairly straightforward from here. I suppose you hit the one in the centre and you roll it maybe across the top of the one on the left, which may be the issue. And you leave that one left behind the guard. So this is getting tense moments here for Andrew Wilson's team again. There's another great shot in there from Andrew Reid. Oh, that's a super shot in there. So Andrew Wilson with his last stone coming up. As he comes through there trying to take those two out, does he draw it to the face of it? It's a very difficult shot he's got here now. Looks like a bit of a chat going on there. So we've got across to the ladies to see just how it's happening over there. It was just a miss from the Garnier team on the left hand blue stone. Van Elder drawing the second in there. Van El, of course, having last stone this end. This one looks kind of wide here from the Garnier team. Trying to corner keep it in. Yeah, just get it out, but it was fairly wide there. Van El just replace one out there in the wing. Got one behind the centre guard, doesn't want to move the centre guard away. So we put one on the wing, so you get last stone, try and create a big end here. Meantime, while that's coming down, I'll go and watch the last stone in the men's game. Last stone of this end from Andrew Wilston. He is coming through the gap there. It's like a lower weight. In fact, he's coming back down to have another look again. So we'll leave that for the moment, and we'll now go back to girls. Final team to draw there a bit short. So yet again another hit here from Garnier's team. Don't try to get a roll inside really, to try and get one behind cover. She gets the hit and the roll, and that's a good shot. Great shot there. Still available, I think you still see some of it. So Liz going to try and hit it and roll out. If she catches the guard, then that'll be fine. And we're back on the men. The men are still looking at hitting this shot here. Goes back up the far end. He's out now throwing the stone, coming out over the hog line. Stone coming down. We'll watch that one while it's happening. Aiming for the gap through there. Is he wide for the gap? Oh, he's coming through okay now. It's coming through now. Comes through. Has he got the two of them or not? He's got one. He's got one, and he's got just the one. So that's one more for Reid. So that's now 4-1 for Andrew Reid. These I think they get the guards. That's come really across a long way. I'm not sure what happened to that one, but she's just pushed the red stone guard. She pushed it into the house. Is he going to go out the back? Yes, it is. Just. That one seemed to dive across very quickly. Whether that was a mistake in the weight. So, Garnier trying to hit this blue out here. She's just line. It's one shot all. It's around a bit wide in fact, and that is not so good. It does leave for Redstone in play, but Lisa's just going to hit it now. She got last stone, she may be now thinking of the blank. There's no cover up, we're into third stones, so let's just go for the blank, perhaps it's our main set now. Or put the stones to wings and get them to hit. Because really the two is probably very difficult to get now. That certainly just squeaked the stone out there. Not a great shot. Just did what it should do, but could have been washed with slower head. That stone just crawled across the house. So we're back to the situation of Farnell with the last stone. She goes to try and blank the end here now. Depends really what's happened to if Garney puts a shot. If Garney's stone becomes a guard, then obviously she might want to use Farnell might want to use it as a guard to draw around. But I think it's coming into the house. It's come to the back of the house. So I think it's a case of yep, we'll probably hit that one. No need to get any risks at the moment. He's trying to freeze on it, just take it. Keep the game ticking along. here we go, another blank end there from Farnell. The score stays 1 game, 1 shot all after 6 ends now. So heading now for the 7th. So that end looked like it was building up to be something, but then when the guard was taken away, Farnell decided to go for the blank, bail out of trying to get 2, go for the blank, keep the last stone. 4 ends to go. See the Garni team having a good chat to each other there. Lorne, an experienced hand, helping to take these younger players through. A quick look over the men's game. We've got Woolston now 4-1 down. Stays that way, it's not the end of the world. It means he's got to come back again, try and beat Reed a second time. Try and beat Reed. So Woolston lying second shot, Rico one in the house there. Woolston throwing a corner guard. And this is where I do my radio DJ bit and say hello to all those folks out there listening. Thank you for sending in your messages. Hello to Nigel. Hello to Yvonne's sister and Harris the dog. We're all enjoying this broadcast here from the Dumfries Ice Bowl of the last day's play in the English Curling Championships. The men's championship down to this game between Woolston and Reed. The winner, if it's Woolston, will be the champion. If it's Reed, we'll have another game between the two teams at 2 o'clock. In the ladies' game, it's the 5th game of a 5-game rubber between Lisa Farnell, the current champions, and Hetty Garnier. The score is obviously 2 games all over the last 2 days, and at the moment is 1 shot all after 6 ends. 4 blank ends and a couple of singles. So this is a game that's going to be very nerve-wracking for all the people watching online and here in person, as well as those playing. A lot at stake, obviously. A trip to European Championships in Estonia in November for the winners of these championships. And if you watch this closely, you may see that we are playing the 5-stone free guard zone rule. This is because the European Championships in December will be following that new rule from the WCF, which comes into play on the 1st of October. So to give our teams, our champion teams, the best experience of practice before going to Estonia, we are introducing the 5-stone rule now in this championship. It does mean the first 5 stones, if they're in the free guard zone in front of the circles, cannot be taken out of play, rather than previously 4. I'm not sure I've seen anybody playing it to its fullest this weekend, but I'm sure it's coming to play a few times. Possibly unexpectedly sometimes as well, as people get used to playing this extra stone in the free guard zone rule. While I watch the men's game, the ladies' game has got a centre guard up and a stone in the house, so very similar to what we've seen before. Currently the stone in the house, which is not really behind the guard, is Garnier stone, so Farnell, who has last stone, tried to hit and roll behind the centre guard. Hit and roll away and out to wing, actually, I suppose, yes, because she got last stone, she's not going to roll behind the centre guard, she hasn't rolled away to wing. The draw shot challenge before the game was won by Farnell's team, which gave them last stone at the first end. They blanked the first 3 ends, nearly a miss between the 2 teams. And then at the 4th end, Hetty Garnier threw up a guard, and we got a bit of an end developing, which in the end resulted in Farnell being forced to take 1, but in reply the next end she forced Garnier to take a 1. The 6th end was looking into developing into something for Farnell, but once the centre guard and once the guards are gone, Farnell decided to bail out and go for the blank, which she did successfully. We are now in the 7th end, so it's 1 shot all, and that stone just going out the back there, and gives Farnell a chance to draw behind the centre guard. I'm watching that at the moment on a little screen. I'm trying to divide my time between the two games here, give both games equal chance when the excitement is happening on one. So at the moment, a few more stones in play in the men's game. We'll stick to that. We've now got a chance with Wilston with no guard up there to get a double in these blues. And a quick call to his thrower, who I think maybe Ben Fowler at this stage at the end. I'm just trying to see. This is Ben Fowler who will be throwing this one. And Scott Gibson actually. Scott Gibson. And down he comes. And doesn't get the double and well, double there for Andrew Reid to push to take it. By Lisa Farnell, they went to the back of the house. So now Hetty Garney is trying to draw behind the centre guard to the front of the top of the 4 foot if possible. Quickly show you that one, which is coming in here to the centre house. No, it's not quite hidden though, so easily get handled by Lisa Farnell. The men's stone from Andrew coming down. Oh, backed off a sweeping that high as well. That's pretty straight as well, so no real movement there. High rolled out the way. Could be a good shot to have for the 20 end. So that from Ben Fowler just rubs off the front yellow and lies open for a hit from Reid's team. In the ladies' game, I think Lisa changed her mind and went for the guard instead of the shot in the house. It opened it up. Yeah, in fact the guard attempt there, first of all, a good shot there from the Reid team. Not hidden really, but now allowing 2 shots. On the ladies' game, the guard attempt from the Garnier team ends up just over the hot line. As you can see from this shot, Lisa got out to give the ice way out there, just over the hot line. Right now she's thinking, we should go for that, we should go for the one in the house. Well, he's not totally visible, I don't think, from the back. Difficult decision now. That centre guard is so far out, would be really not really in play for, if Lisa wanted to play a draw with that last one. But she'll take no chances. She'll get thrown the house, if she gets a chance to hit the red at the front of the house, then she'll get a chance to like 2, but she'll get the guard off. No, they're still thinking about it. They're going back for a discussion at the far end. Exactly what they're going to be doing. So while they're doing that, we'll look at the men's game. Wilson tried to tap the blue. Yeah, tap the blue at the back of the house, but still a yellow. lying at the front. Probably Wilson is just falling down. He's trying to take a two out of this. He doesn't really get stones in the right positions as yet. By the other game, the men's game that's on between Andrew Taylor and Greg Dunn is finished, I think, after 6 ends, with a win for Greg Dunn. At the end of the day, this decided to ignore the guard at the front and went for short in the house. Took it out, now lies 2. But fairly open, still a guard for Eddie can use to hit him roll behind. Andrew Reid trying to get through his gap, is he? Trying to push away that yellow. Roll across for 3, which he's done nicely. So yes, trouble now for Wilson. Lying 3 against and not easy to get anything out of this end at the moment. In fact, I missed that, the back stone, which later then must have gone out with that last attempted hit. But the last hit with the front red must have jammed in the back blue and taken all the stones out. And a fellow tries to draw around behind the hit and roll behind the guard there, left it open again, so these are now hitting. There is going to be another blank end. If I should try and roll behind the centre guard. Actually ends up hitting the nose there. I think that side of the sheet is quite straight. I remember the first session we played down here, and it was quite a straight shoot of ace on that side of the centre line. And maybe it's still playing quite straight down there. Andrew Wilson meanwhile throwing. They're trying to think to clear a guard off at the front here. He needs to open something up to get trouble. Bang, 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 bang. Blue goes. Red line second shot. And more discussion to follow from the Reid Opal combination. So let's go back to the ladies, which hasn't moved on. They're still waiting for Hetty to throw this take out here. Stones with are staying straight down that side, and now if Lisa does, I think she probably needs to get a roll because if she hits here, she'll just be hitting the nose and will stay, will not actually be lying short, I don't think. So she plays a little bit of a roll here. But she goes to centre, then Hetty can then draw around. So yes, I get a little roll from Lisa, which roll behind just by the 12 foot behind the centre guard. Wouldn't be too much in the way if she tries to get round to a shot if Hetty was to draw around. That one's just going to hit the nose or hit the outside, so that's not going to be lying now. So Hetty just rolls behind. this game a score of 2-1 would be, it could be a game breaker. Game breaker. At the moment it's 1-1. So Hayton is trying to draw around here behind that centre guard. It's not quite finishing, I don't think. Well, maybe. It's a good draw. Yes, it's probably not totally visible at the far end. The obvious shot is the hit and roll out for another blank. Just making sure she can see it. Well, she's already played a shot just down that line. Sarah played a shot 2 stones ago. But it's a very similar line, so it's obviously there, the hit. And this time she only needs half a stone to roll out. So, 7th end here. Are we going to get a 5th blank end in this game? No call at the moment. He's probably good at running pretty high and wide and hit the half down. They go out and blank end. Number 5. Well, nerves must be jangling down there. No team really getting an advantage. Because one simple mistake by one of the players could break this game. So a quick break there, and we're back in the ice now. We've got centre guard up with the red stone in the centre of the house. So Hetty, who doesn't have last stone, is putting up the guards to try and make it difficult for Lisa to score. Lisa's got second and third shot in there, so at the end of the day it could be useful, but she can get the guards off now. So we have to get both guards off. Guard clean on his way now. Good clearance there by Victoria. Gets rid of all those guard stones. And he's now put what we saw Lisa's team doing a few ends ago. Time to put the guards up. How many times can you guard a stone? So as that guard comes into play, let's have a quick look and see what's happening in the men's game. We've got a clutch of stones in the house here. Reid is lying one, blue at the back. There's two yellow stones from Wilson there. Reid now tries to come and take movers about, presumably, try and push them back a bit. And stones going to pass that front blue. Is he going to catch it? Just gets past. Oh, that's a good shot. So, it could be able to have quite a girdle coming up here. End of the day, it could be the draw on the other side of the house will be the shot that wins the end. But at the moment, a girdle building up on the left-hand side of the sheet. Well, the guards got up there from the Garnier team. The question is it going too far? Does the Farrell team ignore it and try and get round to the shot? Is there a draw round there to the shot even? With last stone, they don't like that one at the front, but if they drive it back, they would drive one to the front. Might drive the short stone onto a blue one. So they're trying to take it off and just let Garnier guard again, and hope they get a missed guard. Is what they're looking for now to try and get that centre one exposed. Going up the far end of a chat, I think. Stones in the men's game have moved about a bit there. Woolsey came down with that yellow. Seems to have moved a few blues back and forth there. And some discussion of what to do next. So obviously, if Rika does some yellows is the idea, without leaving a pocket for Woolsey to come into. So we are going for the shot here. So let's go for the shot here. It's down quite straight. Is it going to come now? Does it stay straight? It's just about to come now. He may just nick it out as you've got our own stone to come to. That's a good shot from Sarah. Goes in there, just rests and nestles in her own stone. Doesn't quite go out. So there's still two fun Garnier stones in the house there. I think she's got to use the centre guard now to try and make sure. She's looking for that possible hit. She doesn't want to lose a big end if it comes to that point. But then she doesn't want to lose opportunity of using that centre guard. So you could get a triple here. Being heavy enough, the triple could go. If you just hit the first front stone slightly on the right hand side if you look at it. And I think trouble we could go and leave you line 3, leave the Gary team line 3 if this is right. It's drawing a lot though. Is it going to miss that front or just nick the front off? Just going to nick the front one off. So that's an opportunity missed. Now, at least I can take the guard away, roll across to there, and just open the whole jing bang lock up again. Yep, you've got to get rid of that guard, and if you can get half hit and roll across to the guard herself. But obviously the next shot Hetty would play would be the hit on those 2 blues. But she can hit the front and send both of them out. So at least needs to hit and roll across as a guard if possible. Oh, there's quite a pocket there for Hetty to draw around to. The guard's going. Where's the blue going? That's going out. She obviously didn't want the guard to sit out at all. Quite happy to let Hetty try and hit these. So we're heading for another. This end again is opening up from what we had before. It's now opening up into possibilities of a plank end. And Andrew just a perfect shot in there, hit it out of yellow, rolled in. And there's a big cluster of blue stones in there. So Andrew was a bit of trouble here. And a fella trying to hit these 2 blues out. No, very quiet the sweeping this time. Is it going to be at least better this time? Like 2 blues are going to go and both it's going to sit there. So all of a sudden it's turned around and we have now got Farnell having to hit and roll across. Some kind of line down there. Start from the first stone of Anna Fowler's, it does a bit of a draw and our second one ran quite straight, so it's probably a bit of a tricky spot down that side where we're not sure whether it'll stay straight or cut, so it's quite difficult to ice for that. Big shouts though, is there at the moment? No, it's pretty quiet. Pretty quiet. It looks like it's going to be certainly hitting it. It's like going to hit it straight on the nose. So, is Garney going to manage to force Farnell to take a 1? No real mistakes this end. The opportunity switching from team to team. So now Garney's got this to hit with her second stone, with her first stone. Still 4 stones to go, both skip stones, both teams still to go. Coming down, limited sweeping on there, and it's on the nose. So, ideal situation for Garney is that, well, apart from Farnell missing, would be to Farnell to take a 1, force a 1 out of her, but give her she's hits and sticks here. We are getting late into this game. Now this is the 8th end of the game, so we're getting deep into this game. And a string of 2 shots here could be vital for the final result at this late stage. There's less time to get back into the game again. So this is throwing a bit of a groan for the audience here in the other side of the barrier for me. That means she's wide. She's wide and going to roll out. She's quite heavy in fact. No, she hits and sticks. A great shot there from Lisa. And the stone's going slightly out to the wing there. So it's slightly different icing for Hetty this time. That back red stone is quite vital in this end in fact, because it means that Lisa probably can't blank the end. That back red stone which hung around is going to be a vital counter on this end, assuming that Hetty hits this and sticks. Eddie was would do is hit and roll out at the edge, so that then Lisa had to go for the other one, of a big draw area to draw to if she wants to. But then they haven't really made draws this game, been lots of hitting. Anna cautious at the moment on the hit. No great shouting on that side. Is that going to stick wide? Is that one staying wide after all? It's throwing wide, it's going to just nick it out. So, opportunity now for Lisa to blank again. So that was a bad mistake there from Hetty. She should have made sure that stayed in the house. Made sure she stuck around. Even if she rolled across anywhere in the house, she would have been good. But now she's missed the house, rolled out the house, and Lisa will now blank this here. So let's quickly nip over. The men's game has got a great girdle of stones. Difficult to see what colour they are actually. I think is that a yellow at the front there, which Ben Fowler's coming round to. This is a pretty slow game. This one, the 7th end. He's just coming in, just tapping up that. Is that yellow? Is that a yellow? Blue? Maybe it's a yellow. There's 4 yellows there, and it's like blue's lying a couple, so it looks like guard here from. So just make sure Lisa does get this blank after all. Big call there from Lisa. That means she's worried about hitting on the nose. She's going to make sure she gets rolled out. That's at the nose actually. So that is a mistake there. That is a mistake. She's taking the 1 rather than getting the blank. So Lisa now is 2-1 up, but she's lost the last stone at the 9th end. So how will Hetty play this? Will she go for the blank and try and retain the last stone? And it assumes that Lisa will try now and steal, as she's been so successful at yesterday. She'll be trying to steal. I mean, a force of 1 for Hetty wouldn't be too bad for Lisa. That would tie the game 2-all and give her last stone. We are now at 2-1 for Farnell. 9th end coming up. And since Philly start blowing that end up, we'll look at the men's game. And there's these girdle of stones. I say they're around at the 7th end here. So umpire Robin will be trying to pass them along a little bit. There are a lot of stones in play, which there's a shot there for Woolston to tap up. I mean, and it's Woolston's first stone coming up. Reid has last stone this end, if I remember right, because Woolston took a 1 at the last end. There's a little tap up here on the blue onto yellow, move it in towards the centre. I'm not sure it'll will actually go to the centre, but you've got a big contrast between this game of men's curling and the more wide open game of the ladies on the next sheet. Reid obviously decided to get stones in play and make Woolston go for the delicate shots, the difficult shots, rather than just the open hits, which may be his basis of his success previously. So we've got a short guard up from Lisa Farnell. Noe Robinson coming round. Short guard up from Neve Fenton for Lisa Farnell. Noe Robinson drawing round, and it's going to back of the fourth, back of the tee. So that game's still an early part of the end, and let's have a look and see how this one pans out for the moment. A lot of stones and a lot of blue stones around, but Wilson trying to tap this blue onto this yellow to just push it up a little bit. How will that work? Will it work? Well, that was cut. That one suddenly got drew, I think. That looked as though it suddenly drew. I think he maybe missed that one altogether. Not quite enough. That one suddenly, I think, drew. Not quite enough. It could use it perhaps the next shot. What does Reid do now? See, Reid's got last stone. He's 4-2 up. Oh, there's a discussion there from the Reid Opal game. Back here we've got this guard, this draw around here. I think it's here all the way past, are they? Yeah, make sure it doesn't sit, it's still sitting in the back of the circles. And this of course is trying to steal, so she doesn't want to take the centre guard off, which she put up there in the first place. So you've got to try and draw right round. Don't worry, you're not missing anything in the men's game. They're still looking at the options here. So these are trying to come round. He's trying to take out the shot. That's thing about high, is it? A bit high from Victoria. Just running. Oh, it's nicked the stone enough, possibly. In line there. But she could steal now, really, because I think Pez got it all out here to try and get a 2. Which may not be enough, actually. She may need to get a 3. 1 up without going to the last day may not be quite enough. She may need to get at least a 3 here to make her feel a bit safer in the last end. Well, the brush is down for the Reid shot in the men's game. Quite a lot of wide eyes, so there's just a guard coming up. Here we got Hetty trying to draw around. Again, that's going heavy and through the back. So building up stones at the back of the circles. But those are 2 stones there, both been heavy, both going through. That's a quick look over here at the men's game. It's coming out and running straight out and didn't do anything at all. In fact, it's totally missed. That seemed to run back at some point. Certainly surprised them. And now we've got a chance to push the yellow up. Andy's looking at tapping the yellow into yellow. Ben's maybe looking at something else. I guess we've got another committee meeting here now. How many curls does it take to make a shot? So they're discussing the next 5 minutes. We're going to look at the ladies. We usually do have to make decisions much more quickly than the men. He's coming round the guard. He's just squeezing past the guard. He's going to get in there. Just another one of Victoria's great shots. Oh, that's a super shot from Victoria. Right onto the frozen on the button there. Just what she did last night in the 4th game. A crucial point. She's played some brilliant freezes like that. And now Hetty's taking the guard off. The guard come off now from Lorna, takes the guard off, then runs back. Oh. Right, so we're back to the situation we've had before so often, and it happened in the 5th end. Guard from up from Lisa, steal a 1. See if we can do it again this time. Let's have a look at the other he's doing setting stone over here. Go try to yellow into yellow if you can. Yellow into yellow. That a great shot there from Wilston. What a fantastic shot there. What a fantastic shot. That could be a yes, we're looking at multiple bounces here now. It may be difficult. There's so many stones in play there to hit any stones. The yellow, blue, blue, blue might go across that way, making it double yellows. This could be an interesting shot. This could end up with maybe a multiple score for the Blues. And it's difficult now to give you all the action of both these games. We've got a committee meeting obviously in the men's game again. In the ladies' game, just going nipping back there, the guard from Farnell is up perfectly. Look at that guard on there. Couldn't get much more in a straight line. And that's really what they're going to do now for the rest of this end. Guard that single shot they have in there. So we've got an attempt here on the ladies for Anna to take that guard off. And that's running wide at the moment. It's going to nick the guard, I think, okay, but it's not. Okay, that's got the guard okay. I imagine the next shot, the other guard going up, so let's quickly nip back to the men's game, which is quite a number of stones in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 12 stones in the head there. And there's 2, 4, 6, 7 stones counting. Oh, that must be tight. Michael's on that straight away. But there, we know it was straight down there. This could be a good shot. On the yellow, yellow, blue, 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 yellow, and it goes. And well, has it got enough? And that's going to require maybe an umpire's measure from here. Can't tell from here. I think I'm going to measure all three of them. I think I'm going to measure possibly all three of those shots. Yeah, so it's measuring 3 shots there for Robin to come out, to Robin Shand, the umpire, to come out and measure. So I'll keep an eye out on that one for you, and we'll look across the blade. Another perfect guard up there. Not quite as perfect the last one, but pretty good. She's hesitantly looking at coming around to tap back. Always a sign that she's got the domination of shots. Can she tap back? And will that do her any good? Well, she comes to the face of the blue. Does she actually get shot out of it is the question. Lorna coming down, or Anna coming down to have a look to see if she can do that. Remember, Lisa's the blue. Lisa's lying one shot in there, got the guard on. But I mean, Hetty's got to decide what she wants to do here. She can force Lisa to take the one, or she'll give her that, give Hetty the last stone at the last end. She's got to work out how she can get a shot out of this. Because she gives Lisa one, she'll be 3-1 down with last stone. So is that enough to win the game? So she's got to try one in there, but then she'll be 2-all without last stone. So between the clefts and the hard place, really. Looking at the measures on the other sheet while we're at it. Robin going round there. Can't see from here what he's saying. He's saying that one blue. Hang on. The blue goes away. That blue is definitely not counting. And that blue, the yellow shot, one yellow I think. Ben wants to have a look again. Ben just wants to make sure. I think that's one yellow. Are we clear what that is? We'll see who goes into the hack first. It looks like one blue maybe, because the Reed team are coming down to play. I'll update you on that one in a minute. So we've got, right, so we had an attempted draw there from Anna, which is just really must have rubbed the guard and moved across, because we've now got 3 guards up the front. Lisa lying short stone. About to put another guard up on the centre line. And that was obviously an attempted draw by Anna if she's come round, but she failed to make it. Or is Lisa going for the tap back on it? I wouldn't mind she doing that. I should put another guard up. Oh, she's pretty wide there. What's happening here? Is she going to have to push that across really a little bit? Oh, that is just. That's one way to put a guard on. I don't think that's maybe what was intended. But it certainly did the job. So now we've still got one for the Aylstone line jammed in the middle there. Well guarded. And Gary having to look at things to do. So we've got yes, it was 1 for Reed in the men's game. So it's 5-2 for Reed after 8 ends. Sorry, after 7 ends. They're a bit slow with these boys. No, not a 5. 1. Don't want to alarm you, it's not 9-2, it's 5-2. So it's 5-2 for Reid over Wilston, playing the 8th end, and it's 2-1 for Farnell over Fowlis, the 9th end they're playing, so it's going to be very tense here shortly. Farnell looking as if he might be adding a third to that score, but Garney trying to clear his front red, maybe push it back onto the blue, which maybe depends on his works, because she could end up, if she's not careful, she could end up. That's not far away. Oh, what a shot that is. That's a cracking shot there from Hetty Garney. Sometimes she pulls them out. So, now this is going to try and tap that red back. That's a great shot there from Hetty. We've seen some wonderful shots here. Certainly one of the best shots I've seen for a while. Oh, so this could be going down to last end all square. I think it's Lisa's line second, third shot. She got that right out of there, which is going to be very tricky to do because it's not really. Yeah, and she's got careful then. Hetty will have a shot for 4. If this shot does not come in here, right, if it is, those two backstones of Hetty's lying in the 12th foot could come into play yet. Right, so as this is trying to come around here, looks a bit heavy, is it? She's got to keep it coming, she's got to keep it coming. Oh, hang wide now, hang wide now. Is it going to draw now? It's going to draw, is it going to be enough? It's not enough really, it's just going to guard up and okay. Could be that Hetty takes a 1 and decides to go to the last end all square without last down Lorna coming down to have a look. Pleasure of Vice coming up from up here in the stands. I would say they're probably, this is Hetty's last stone at the end, so I presume she's going to try and draw to the back. She doesn't want to do anything rash. She's trying to tap the blue till the red goes out. That would be a disaster. She doesn't want really to come to back. That just gives her nothing. So whether she plays the shot or not is a different matter. I mean, what she can get out of it, apart from 1, I am not sure. There's no way, I don't think, to get 2 out of it, but there's a possibility of giving away if she's not careful. I bet Lisa wishes she was a shot to play here, because she could probably drive out and get 3. I'm not sure Is Wyatt even playing this shot? And what is she trying to do? It's really just doing nothing. I mean, anyway, just to stay there, and they're wasting their time, I think, doing that one. So that's one red. One for Hetigani. Going to last end of this 5th game of last end, and we're all square at 2-all. So last end, 2-all. 5th game, 2 games all, 2 shots all, and we'll now concentrate on this game because it looks like the men's game is probably going to be a bit longer before it finishes. So let's transfer you to the far end and concentrate on this last end here. So empty house, sheet F, home end, waiting for this final denouement of this thrilling and gripping ladies championship here at the English Championships in Dumfries. The winners of this will go to the European Championships in Tallinn in Estonia, and also the winners will get an entry into the Perth City Open. A free entry to the Perth Open, which is a major tour ladies competition held in Perth in the end of next month. So sorry I had to leave you for a minute or two there. Back live again now. As I said, it's 2 games, 2 stones all. 2 games all, 2 stones, 2 stones all. After 9 ends. 10th end, last stone for Parnell with the blue stones. Currently line 2, but with the last stones you won't like all the centre guards up there. So have to get rid of them. Hetty Garney now going to try and draw around behind those centre guards till I shot. Been a thriller here in Dumfries all weekend for these 2 ladies teams. And the men's games alongside, they're playing the 8th end. Wilston line 2 stones widely spaced, so it's quite still possible for him to come back in this game. Oh, and that one from Hetty just pushed the blue further behind the centre guard, but it's still, centre guard's still dangerous. I mean, what Lisa's trying to remember is it doesn't matter how many shots, how many of the red stones in the house, as long as hers is closest, and she's got to get that ability to get close to the centre. So it looks good. She could hit and roll off that left hand red. That would not take away the chance of them drawing behind us. You're going to take the centre guards off here. Got one, she got a wreck there, and it's going to roll out. Let's open it up a bit more. But still, remember, she needs her last shot. It's going to be at the worst a draw to the button, at the best a draw to anywhere in the circles. So she needs to make sure that she can get there. Which is why she take off all these centre guards. The fact she's lying short at the moment is irrelevant, because if Hetty gets one behind those 2 guard shots there, then she would just find it difficult to get around. Centre guards where you don't have centre guards who got last two in this situation are your enemy. And looking across to the men's game, Andrew Wilson, who's 5-2 down, is about to draw, I think, for 2. Whether this is last one or not, I'm not sure. It is the last one of the end, I think. Yeah, so Andrew Wilson now trying to draw for 2 to take the score to 5-4 after 8 ends. Don't worry, you're not missing anything in the ladies' game. Nothing's happened so far with his next shot of the Garnier team. It's still as you last saw it. But this one coming in now from Andrew Woolston. Perfect draw to the middle, takes a 2, closes the game up to 5-4. So that game's not finished yet either. So, back to the ladies. Got a bit of time here now to watch this. Another guard going up here from Hetty to guard that draw round. Which going to be sure she doesn't guard all her options as well, because obviously she wants to have an option to draw around to outcount that blue stone that's already lying there. So going to make sure she doesn't get rid of all her options. You know, that guard is fine there if you've been slightly further to the left to cut out the draw, and so she's got to be careful here. She doesn't limit herself as well as trying to limit Lisa. So we go back. Oh, that's a good shot. Takes for the centre guard and rolls across the line. Another biter. So, does Hetty then, does he take away that one or put her centre guard up? Again, she needs one shot in there. She shouldn't worry about all the extra shots. She needs one shot in there. She has a chance to get the one. If she gets this, then the centre guard's going next, I think, from Lisa. If Hetty takes this away, it doesn't matter where I think the centre guard might go anyway. We'll see how this shooter ends up here. The shooter stays wide. It's through now. Going to get it, and going to get a bit of a roll as well. But I think Lisa will still take the centre guard off now. Has to be the centre guard coming off because she still needs to get access to 4 foot. Oh, it sounds like a big roll from Lisa there. Is this going to be a high? Is it going to be a miss altogether? Oh no, that's a miss altogether. Gasp from the crowd there. That is a vital miss there from Sarah. Really had to go. Especially as his line shot now. That really had to go. So really now, Hetty's shot is to draw to the top of the button, not behind the tee, in front of the tee. Top of the button, top of the 4 foot. That is a bad miss there from Sarah. Even if she just nicked it to take it off that centre line. So, I said it would be one mistake that could decide this game. Is that the one? So a good draw round there from Hetty, but it's not short, not restricting Lisa by any means. Lisa's got an 8 foot come to there, and she's still got another stone after this, so if she gets this right round there, leave Hetty a difficult draw round. Lisa's got to get the back of the 8 foot. What's that? Very quiet here, that's running wide. Hope the weight's got there, hope the weight's got that's very wide. Very wide. Very wide, it's quite come round now, that could go too far. That's going too far at the moment. So, going too far. Garney, what's she going to do? Because if she's going to try and beat that blue, because this could come to that blue the next shot, and so all of a sudden this game, there's a lot of stones in play, a lot of options going on. A couple of mistakes there from the Farnell team, the missed guard, and that draws us too long. So what does Garney do to cut down Farnell's options? Does she put another guard up? How many draws of ways of drawing in there are there? But then there's two blue stones there, on the right in particular, which only is nudged by about 2 feet into centre, so she can't be too short with this. She needs to really get around and give Lisa very little to play with. Certainly, if we're going to finish this championship here at this last end, there's going to be no extra ends in this game. Still a question of who's got the shot in them to win this game. Anna's point, I think Head's going to try and come round. The same shot which Lisa tried there. Try and come round. Lie at the top of the forefoot, which really gives Lisa very little option to play with. Stone on its way from Hetty. Coming round, it's going to be open there. It's going to be open. It's going to be open. Alright, so basically, if Lisa can hit that and roll in, she wins this competition. One shot to go. From Lisa, current English champion. Is she got the mettle now to take this championship a second year? This is the crunch shot. Just needs to hit that. Hit it on the nose, she'll be shot. Inside roll, she'll be shot. She can't afford to be wide. She'll just jam onto the back blue anyway, and she'll roll out. So it has to be inside or on the nose. The crowd's very tense up. It'll be a roar shortly. Whichever camp wins. Lorna, Hetty and Anna. So here we go. All 10C, the stone's on its way, there's no shout yet. Started playing wide. She's looking okay, it's got to come in the nose. I think Hetty thinks it's gone. Is it still okay? I think it's okay though, and that's a good shot there, and the one for Farnell. Lisa Farnell, after 5 intense games there, retains her English title. Lisa, Victoria, Niamh and Sarah retain their title there. 3-2 in that final game, a nerveless shot there from Lisa Farnell to take that game. A wonderful game of curling for the last 3 days by these 8 ladies. Well, 9 ladies, because we had a substitute Kirsty Balfour in for one game instead of Norman Robinson. But a retain of the title by Lisa Farnell and her team. Little group from the Garnier team having a post-game powwow there in the middle of the ice. Lisa team go off the ice. Winners by 3 games to 2. Retain their English title and heading off to Tallinn in the winter time. Well done to both sets teams for some cracking curling, particularly today and yesterday evening, and we'll leave those celebrations and commiserations to the losers, well led by Hetty Garney, Anna Fowler, Lorna Rettig, Naomi Robinson and Kirsty Balfour. A great set of games between the two teams. It could have gone either way, and here now we have to go to the men's game, which is the last round robin game. Remember, it's not the final yet, it's only the last round robin game, and it's only the 9th end at the moment, and it's 5-4 to Reid in the Blue Stones against Woolston. Reid is now going to try and draw around behind the centre guard. I think he's going to try and make his 2 this end. So, English Ladies Champions led by Lisa Farnell. Taking a win there to win 3-2. What a final. So to all you breathing hard over in Canada, the girls have done it again, and hopefully we'll see you all in Tallinn in Estonia in November for another European Championship adventure for the England ladies team. So we won the men's game. Oh, and and Michael jumps in the air there to try and get this flipping done. He gets round it though. Well done. Good jump from Michael there. Wilston just takes it as two heavy runs out the back. So Wilston will use the centre guard because he's the one down and he needs to score probably more than one. So it's a bit of a tricky shot now. Reid, if Reid scores one, that would be 6-4 if Wilston gets wins 5-5 and then to go. I mean, this is not the final. If Wilston wins the final, if Wilston wins this game, he wins without a final. If Reid wins, we go to a final later on this afternoon at 2 o'clock. We'll be back for more live curling from Dumfries. At this stage, I'd like to thank Dumfries Curling and the Dumfries Ice Bowl for the opportunity to use this facility to bring you English Championship curling from the venue here in Dumfries. As usual, we've been very welcome. The ice has been good. I think over the years we've had some really improving ice here at Dumfries. The ice has held up very well now for 10 ends and the extra ends we've had. So a big thank you to Graham Sloan and his team here at Dumfries for all the hard work in getting this ice ready for us and preparing the conditions for these championships. I believe next weekend here at Dumfries the Welsh have their championships. And this shot from Andrew Wilston's very heavy shot. This is going through the house. I'm not sure what he was trying to play there. I think he was trying to play a draw. I presume he was trying to play a draw. That was hack weight. Isn't now tempting? This is an interesting situation now. So was that a deliberate throw through by Andrew Wilston? Because it certainly the sweepers backed off early and it didn't seem to. It seemed to be a very heavy draw even for him, hack weight draw. Is he trying to tempt Andrew Reid into blanking this and then trying to steal? Or will Reid go for the one? Right out in the wing there, it could be easy to blank it, and when I imagine he would blank it, because that would give him a 6-4 lead, but then without the hammer, 2 up without the hammer, or 1 down with the hammer. Yes, 1 up with the hammer. I think he'd go for the one. Well, tricky. I think we'd go for the blank here. To 1 up with the hammer in the last end. And in fact he notices it. Gets the one. 6-4 after 9. And still we go in here now with the 10th end. So, 10th end, last round robin game, championship still in the line. Wilston has to win, or we're back here again in a couple of hours' time, or less than a couple of hours' time. 2 o'clock will be back here at 2 o'clock for another session. If we go to the extra end, it'll be a fairly short break between the 2 games. So here we are in the last end of this game, and what's happening? Got Reid being 2 shots up, 6-4 up. We've got Reid line shot. We've got Wilson a shot behind the guard. And he can do that. He needs to get, he needs to get 3 to win this one. If Wilson wins, we can all get home early. If not, we've got a final coming up. And Wilson's last stone here, of course. Reid having failed to blank the previous end. Wilson does have last stone at this end, so we've now got 4 stones to go. 2 stones each side. Reid's got to work out how to avoid losing a 3. I mean, hit will give the game to an extra end. And as I said, the back on again at 2 o'clock, so cut down recovery time, but also make it more exciting for the spectators, I suppose, with an extra game to play. If not that, then it will be we need to get a decision from Wilson. Needs a 3. Can he get 3 from where he is now? He can get 2 quite easily, I would imagine. If he can get a 3 from it. Hope will hold his hand up there. It's fairly straight nose hit, I think this. It's going to be a nose hit, no real movement in it, so it's still got a chance for Wilson to hit and roll behind, so game's still open here. Now Wilson's calling the team, they're going to have a discussion here now, team discussion. So the Fraser Clark coming down towards the head. So excuse me. Fraser Clark coming in towards the head. Lots of excitement up here in the bar with and here Scott Gibson arrives. Lots of excitement up here in the bar with the ladies coming up, having won the game. So here we go, back here live, and what a finish this is building up to be. Andy Ralston having overrolled on his previous shot. Still but managed to cling onto the edge. He now just shot here, hit this blue to win the championship. Takes a 3 here, that would be him winning the championship by winning this game 7-6. Any slight move in the stone, pushing the yellow out, would make it a final to come. So really wants to hit the stone on the nose without moving the yellow, so it's a clean hit here for the championship. Andrew really shot with that draw he played there. He could actually let the right shot to play. So what's happening here? Big call. Big call. He's going to shoot. Oh, where's that going? That's missing by a long way. That's well inside the bush. Pushing the blue in. So it's 1. Doesn't matter who gets that shot really, because that's a win for Andrew Reid. And back again and just over there for the final. So that would cut a lot more past the expected to. But certainly that's a win for Andrew Reid. Each team finishes the round robin with 5 wins and 1 loss. And we'll see you back shortly for a final. So 2 not so good shots there from Andrew Ralston in that last end. And we'll go and find who won the score of the shot. Then we'll do the latest presentation, and we're back again at 2 o'clock for more live curling from Dumfries Ice Bowl.